favorite way to fall asleep at night listening to ASMR is with my sleep phones. If you would like to learn more about this amazing product, to even pick up your own pair, and doing so help support my channel, you can stick around to the end of the video to learn more. Thank you so much. Enjoy the video. Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be continuing our read through of this book, History of the World, Map by Map. And if you are new to the channel or this video series, welcome. Glad to have you here. This is pretty much an unscripted video. I have not read any of the facts inside the book. I've only read the title so I can make a cohesive theme. So it's all off the cuff, unscripted. Sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes I ramble. I'm uncensored completely. So we'll see how this video goes. But tonight's theme, as you can tell by the title, is the 1930s. And I think we're going to read 4 maps tonight, if I recall. But we're going to start here with the Great Depression. Dun dun dun. Make sure there's no lead in this pencil sticking out. Excellent. Let's see. Box number 1 is way up here. I'm going to bring this a little closer to me. It's a little easier for me to read. Stock market crash and strikes, 1929 to 1934. I'm going to leave this too. Approximately $25 billion was lost in the 1929 crash. People became bankrupt, factories closed, trade collapsed, wages fell, and homelessness soared. There were strikes and riots across the country as workers sought protection offered by the unions. Hope if I kept reading. Protection offered by the unions, as well as greater involvement of the U.S. government in the economy. Strikes are shown by these yellow squares you can see here. And there. The United States. I think that was it. Yeah, it's just the U.S. Let's talk about Latin America. 1929-1933. After the crash, some of Latin America saw a drop of over 70% in exports to the U.S. In Colombia, this hit its coffee, bananas, and oil markets. Brazil's coffee economy also suffered. In Cuba, reliant on its sugar exports, the impact was devastating. Chile, which exported nitrate and copper, was one of the worst hit countries. Argentina and Venezuela, however, recovered relatively quickly. Where's box 3? Box 3 is way over here in Australia, 1929-1932. In the late 1920s, Australia was already suffering from a prolonged deterioration in trade caused by a fall in the prices of wool and wheat. Had large foreign debts and increasing unemployment. During the Great Depression, the economy collapsed. By mid-1932, 32% of Australians were out of work. Wow. Then up here in the USSR, 1929, I was about to say it's awfully late, 1929-1933. A communist nation, the USSR's isolationist economic policies protected it from the shocks of international capitalism. The West's interlinked economy meant that a decline in one country's economy created a disastrous ripple effect. The USSR's closed economy, however, meant it was not affected by other countries. In fact, the USSR experienced rapid industrial growth under Stalin's 5-year plans, and the ambitious targets set for factories by the government ensured that employment was high. Yeah, I guess you don't have to worry about your employment rates in the Soviet Union. guess that's one thing they had going for it. And delightful, the rise of the Nazi Party, 1929-1933. Burdened by the debt of U.S. loans, Germany was destroyed by the Great Depression. In July 1930, Chancellor Brüning cut unemployment pay and wages. When the opposition objected, President Hindenburg used Article 48 to pass the measures by decree. New elections were called, and Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party seized their chance to campaign. Although they lost the 1932 election, Hitler became chancellor in 1933. All right, let's start over here in the U.S. and read these little boxes. This says May to July 1934. I read that as dork workers. Oh my gosh. Dock workers go on strike at ports in San Francisco as well as at other West Coast ports, shutting down about 2,000 miles or 3,200 kilometers of coastline. Way over here, looks like Chicago. Nope, it's Kentucky. Chicago's up here, dude. Oh my goodness. I hope if I actually looked at the map. 1931, 1932, minor strike in Harlan County, Kentucky. Like many strikes at the time, turned violent. Then this looks like it's way up. Oh, it's this one. I thought I was pointing over here. Oh my goodness. Way up here. You can like tell when it's my last video of the night, can't you? I feel like whenever I have like I got one more video to do tonight, I just completely fall apart. Pointing here. July to August 1934. Textile workers strike in Huntsville, Alabama. The strike spreads from the south of the country to the north, becoming one of the biggest industrial strikes in U.S. history. Let's close out the U.S. October 1929, where this all started. The financial bubble bursts. Bubble bursts, bubble bursts. The financial bubble bursts. And panic hits Wall Street in New York. Banks close, bankrupting millions overnight. Horrible. 1931 to 1932 in Chile, copper exports collapse and the value of sodium nitrate exports to the U.S. drops from $21 million to $1.4 million. Wait, the value, I see. I'm still not reading. 21 is bigger than 1.4. 20, did I read it right? 21 million to 1.4 million. Oh, well, I probably did. Numbers are not my strong suit. 1929 to 1930, in Argentina, exports of wheat and beef drop by more than 2/3, and inflation increases, subsequent political instability. What? I think I'm tired. And inflation increases. There's a semicolon there. And inflation increases. Subsequent political instability leads to military dictatorship. See, none of this would happen if I had read all of this beforehand. I would sound smart and know what I'm talking about, but I'm reading this all at once. This is London, October 1936. 200 men from the Jarrow dockyards in northeast England, close enough, marched to London. There's London. Okay, I was about to say. Marched to London to protest unemployment. Here's Nigeria. 1929 to 1934. In Nigeria, exports such as cocoa and groundnuts drop by over 50%. Over here's Japan. 1931. The collapse of foreign trade leads Japan to invade Manchuria for its natural resources, kicking off World War II over there as well. It's crazy how much Great Depression just enabled World War II to happen, both fronts. March 1932, the new Sydney Harbour Bridge opens after 9 years of construction. It is a rare triumph during the Great Depression as it spares many men in the city from unemployment. Oh, that's good. That is good. Let's see what's next. China and nationalism. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see what's happening over in China. We start with the Northern Expedition, 1926 to 1928. Outside the few KMT-controlled provinces, China was ruled by regional warlords. Gosh, in the 1920s, led by Chiang Kai-shek and supported by communist USSR, the KMT and CCP combined forces and advanced northward from Guangzhou to unify China in a campaign known as the Northern Expedition. During the first phase, they seized wealthy and heavily populated southern, central, and eastern areas. And it's shown by a yellow arrow. Oh, there's a bunch of yellow arrows. Hold on, let's see. So we're marching from Guangzhou here. I wonder what these different colors mean. Will we find out? I think so. Yes, okay, we'll find out later. Marching up here, boom, 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 to Beijing. Marching, oh, they went here, and then this way, and this way, up to Beijing. And over there's, to Nanjing. Next box says Breakdown of the Alliance, 1927-1936. In the early 1920s, the USSR supported the KMT, seeing it as part of an anti-imperialist revolution. In 1923, they ordered the CCP to join the KMT, but a bitter rivalry between the parties remained. You can't just be like, okay, now kiss. Like, it's not how it works. After a temporary alliance in 1927, Chiang dismissed his Soviet advisors and turned them against the CCP in a savage attack in Shanghai. It marked the beginning of years of violence between the parties. So clashes are shown with this fist here, so we can see. There's Shanghai. There's, goodness, it's hard to read against the colors. Guangzhou, Changsha. I literally can't read what this says. Oh my gosh, I just hit the mic. Then I can't read. I literally cannot read that. Listen, I am having a problem, okay? The light in this office shines like here and creates a glare. So I was like, tonight I'm going to film with the light off. And now I'm like blind. All I have is my filming light. If I turn this over, it's going to squeak. And it's like, is that too jarring? Now I can see. It says Nanjing. Now I can read it. Is that too bright? I'm worried about the shadows, so I can make little puppets. I need to stop. Okay. I don't know. Let's try it. I don't know. I feel like it's too bright, but the other way was too dark. What do y'all think? You'll have to let me know. Is this too much? It's so much easier to see now. I promise. I actually have 20/20 vision every time I've gone. See, look at this glare. Every time I've gone to an eye doctor, they're like, leave. I can't help you. The glare is so crazy with this ring light on certain things. Look at poor Chiang Kai-shek over here. He's getting blocked out. Anyway, let's play. Let's see how this works. I can make shadow puppets later. Stop. Chinese reunification, 1928. I don't need to do this anymore, I can read it. During the second stage of the Northern Expedition, some warlords allied themselves with the KMT. This new support allowed the KMT to capture the city of Beijing. The Kuomintang, which by the way, that's KMT. The Kuomintang became the single most powerful force in China, and Chiang Kai-shek was made president of the Republic of China in 1928. So the KMT is all of this blue. All of this here. And warlords joined the Northern Expedition, coming from Lanzhou to Zhengzhou, heading up to Beijing from Taiwan. Not Taiwan, Taiwan. Interesting. Taiwan's down here. We'll talk about that later. Incomplete unification, 1931 to 1937. Despite the success of the Northern Expedition, China was only partly unified. Chiang was unable to defeat all the warlords, especially in the north. Faced with the Japanese invasion of Manchuria in September 1931, he became determined to eliminate domestic conflict. From 1935 to 1937, Chiang brought more provinces under the influence of the Republic of China. So Japanese controlled is purple. So you can see they've got the Korean Peninsula, they got a bunch of islands, they got Jeju Island, there's Manchuria up here, and they got Taiwan and a bunch of islands over here. And Kuomintang controls all the green by 1937, so pretty much like the entirety of China. That's not Manchuria or Taiwan. If you agree with Taiwan's part of China, that's to be debated. But we're going to talk probably, I don't know if we will, about why that is. I don't know if this map will talk about Taiwan. Let's find out. Imperial expansion 1931 to 1932. Japan, which had limited land and natural resources, saw China as key to its imperialist ambitions. As China now appeared weak and fragmented, Japan launched a series of invasions to capture territory, annexing Manchuria in September 1931. From here, they sought control of the whole of northern China. So the Japanese control before 1931, we can see they've got Japan and Korea. 1931 to 32 is this purple color, so they've got Manchuria and Taiwan like we've already talked about. I think, yeah, there's more purple coming in this next box. It says Second Sino-Japanese War, 1937 to 1945. This is so much easier with the light on. I hope it's not... Okay, I don't think it's glaring, but still. In July 1937, following a clash between local Chinese soldiers and Japanese forces in Beijing, full-scale war erupted. Japan seized swaths of northern and eastern China, including the KMT capital Nanjing, installing puppet regimes. By 1941, much of central China was also under Japanese occupation. Although lacking training and equipment, Chinese nationalists refused to surrender. So the Japanese advanced via these green arrows to Beijing, to Baotou, Taiyuan, by sea, Shanghai, very famously Nanjing. There's probably a thing here about Nanjing, I'm sure. Down here to Wuhan, Guangzhou, which I guess was called Canton at that time, to Nanning, Hainan Island, all over the place, all over here. So Japanese control by 1941 is this kind of lavender color. So you can see they've got Beijing, they've got Wuhan, Nanjing, of course, Shanghai, they've got Hainan, they've got some cities there, and they've got French Indochina over here, aka Vietnam. And then by 1945, they control this and all this over here. There's probably mountains here. A bit over there, too. The Second United Front, 1936 to 1941. In 1936, the KMT and CCP formed a Second United Front following the Xi'an incident, where Chiang was kidnapped by members of his own party and forced into an alliance. It was a fragile truce, but it meant Chiang had gained allies in the resistance against the Japanese invasion. The parties fought together at the battles of Taiyuan and Wuhan. So the communists controlled this area here. You can see them fighting the Japanese there in 1940. We have a lot of boxes to read. Let's get into it. Let's start up here. 1912, 1945. Chiang is unable to capture Shanxi, which is in the hands of the warlord Yan Xishan. However, in 1927, Yan briefly forms an alliance with Chiang. April 20th, 1929, Wuhan, which was set up as a capital city by rival left-wing elements of the KMT, is captured by Chiang's troops. December 9th, 1927, a violent communist uprising occurs after the KMT severs its alliance with the CCP. That's that. December 9th. What happened up here? March 1927. Captured by Chiang's forces, Nanjing is made the new capital of the Republic of China. June 8th, 1928, Beijing falls, an important victory that brings the far north under KMT control. Okay, I guess not so many Boom, boom, boom. Over here, though, we have a bunch. And I guess we're not heading to Taiwan this box. We didn't go that far, I guess. Start here. April 17th and May 25th, 1944. Japan launches its largest military campaign in China, Operation Ichigo, to link its occupied territory starting in Hainan. It's 15, by the way. Operation 15. I'm so good at Japanese. Not to brag. November 1937 to May 1946, here in Chongqing. Chongqing is the provisional capital of the KMT during the Second Sino-Japanese War. June 11th to October 27th, 1938, here in Wuhan. Despite cooperation between the KMT and CCP, Japan wins the Battle of Wuhan, but suffers high casualties. Here's Shanghai. March 28th to March 3rd, 1932, Japanese forces bomb Shanghai and the city is briefly occupied. And on August 13th to November 16th, 1937, Shanghai is attacked by the Japanese Air Force. Thousands flee to the countryside. Here's Nanjing. I have to probably censor some words. December 1937 to January 1938, Japanese soldiers brutally attack the Chinese population of Nanjing. 260,000 to 350,000 people are killed, and 2,000 to 8,000 women are R-worded. Horrible event. March 1st, 1932, Chinese resistance is sporadic, and by March 1932, Japan has total control of Manchuria, which becomes a puppet state called Manchukuo. Here in Shenyang, which looks like it's called Mukden, I guess. September 18th, 1931. Japanese soldiers blow up a strip of Japanese-controlled railway near Mukden. They blame the Chinese and use it as a region to invade Manchuria. Yeah, that's how it all started. And that's it. Pretty horrific, right? My goodness, just chaos nonstop. It doesn't get better. Let's talk about the Soviet Union under Stalin. Oh, hooray. It just gets worse. I forget what the next map is. Oh no, it gets even worse. Oh, this is so depressing. It gets worse, you guys, but let's talk about the Soviet Union. Oh boy. Starting off hot with the gulags. How shiny is, wow, shiny USSR. In USSR, book shines you. I need to go to bed. Gulags, 1917 to 1953. Gulags, no word for prisoners, was created under Lenin, but proliferated under Stalin. They housed a range of convicts who were exploited to open up remote and forbidding areas of the country, such as the Arctic North and the Siberian East. The population of the Gulag camps reached its height in the late 1940s, but the system was run down under Stalin's successors. So all of these, they're not hammers and sickles, are they? They're like shovels and pickaxes. Those are the gulags, and isolated camp regions are highlighted in blue, so you can see that they are all over the place. And then here's the camp regions up in very northern Siberia. Look at all of them up here. Then all across these very sparsely populated areas here. Pretty wild. Collectivization. Hooray. 1927-1953. Stalin deemed Soviet agricultural methods outdated, and they produced too little food for a growing urban population. From 1927, Stalin instigated collectivization, uniting small farms into larger collectives. Food production eventually grew, and labor was freed for industry. Few farms volunteered, and terror was used to coerce them into handing over their land. Millions were starved, persecuted, or sent to gulags. By 1939, 99% of land was collectivized. Industrialization, 1928 to 1953. Stalin's main ambition was industrialization on a massive scale. Over 12 million people moved from rural areas to the new factories and towns that had been built or extensively remodeled between 1928 to 1932. They were attracted by the promise of higher wages and training. Life for workers was brutal, but Stalin achieved his goal. Under the first 5-year plan, which ended in 1934, there was a 50% increase in industrial output. So new towns are shown with blue dots. What have we got? Moscow? Oh my gosh. I just moved to Idaho, right? And there's a town that's spelled the same exact way, but it's pronounced Moscow. So now that's my instinct. It's Moscow. There's Magnitogorsk, Novosibirsk. Good word. That's fun to say. Probably horrors happen there. We'll find out soon. Speaking of horrors, let's talk about famine. 1932 to 1933. Grain grown on the collectives was given to the city workforce, leaving little for rural peasants. Hardest hit by the famine was the North Caucasus, the Volga region, southern Russia, central Russian Asia, and above all the Ukraine, known as the Soviet breadbasket. Millions died in the Holodomor, or hunger death, as Stalin used famine to break Ukrainian resistance to farm reform. So famine's shown by here, this symbol, and oh boy, do you see all of this? Famine through the Caucasus, famine here near Kiev, all this Volga area. My goodness. Just the horror stories out of the Holodomor. Terrifying stories. Don't look it up if you're sensitive. Don't look up Nanjing either. If that sounded like a lot, don't research it. Don't research the Holodomor, okay? Oh, it's dark. Deportations. It just gets better and better. 1942 to 1945. Stalin enforced mass deportations of entire peoples deemed anti-Soviet. These groups were relocated to underpopulated, inhospitable areas of the country. During World War II, he deported about a dozen nationalities from western regions of the USSR to Central Asia, accusing them of collaboration with the invading Nazi army. Well, it's like reading all of this, you wonder, how did the Soviet Union collapse? Oh my gosh, it's just everything is just horrible. Deportations, 1942, 1945, you can see from the Chechen area here, all the way out here, over there, just toss them around. From the Volga, this is Volga Germans, they're going, oh, the Germans are out of here. The Germans are gone. The Germans are in space now. From the Crimean Tatars, oh, get them out. Send them to Finland. Get them. Finland may as well be space, right? No, I'm kidding. Love you, Finland. And oh man, the Crimean Tatars, no, they're going to space. They're going away. They're going to the complete opposite end of the planet. Yikes. Oh my, or over here. We can go over here too. We can go to Kazakhstan. Why not? I wonder what this is. Tanutuva. What is this? Oh, if I had just read slightly farther, areas depopulated by deportations are shown in the yellow. Well, I guess that's not that. It's over here. There's Moldavia, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Karelia over here in Finland, Czechoslovakia, I guess, yeah. East Prussia, Kaliningrad. I'm trying to say Königsberg. It's not Königsberg, it's Kaliningrad. Holy moly. And the Moldavans, send them to Bulgaria. Just send the Moldavans to Bulgaria, they'll be fine. Oh my gosh, what is Tanutuva? Can I find anything that tells me what Tanutuva is? I've never heard of this ever. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just a region. Maybe it's a gulag region of some kind. I don't know. Can you guys tell me what that is? What's Kanukuva? Let's read some boxes about these wonderful, wonderful events. Oh my gosh. March 1918. Fearing invasion from the west, Lenin moves the capital city farther east to Moscow. It undergoes extensive modernization, including the building of the subway system. 1945 in Kiev, after World War I, Kiev becomes a major industrial center. Let's talk about Magnitogorsk. 1929, under Stalin's 5-year plan, iron ore-rich Magnitogorsk is extensively remodeled and becomes a one-industry city. 1931, Karlog is one of the largest labor camps. Its prisoners include scientists, doctors, artists, and political figures. Let's talk about Novosibirsk. 1921, Novosibirsk is reconstructed after damage done by the Russian Civil War. It becomes a major industrial center in Siberia. There's one way over here. Look at this gulag way over here, 1922. A series of gulags is set up in the Kolyma region, an area rich in gold and tin. November 1923, or heading over here, I guess, the Solovki prison camp is opened on an island in the White Sea. Political opponents and criminals are incarcerated here. Did I get them all? Yes. Okay. What's over here? Exactly. Do you see this? Oh, okay. Here we go. Territory annexed by the USSR 1944 to 1945. So they just snatched this from what was probably Mongolia, and they snatched this from either China or Japan, maybe. I guess. Oh, and then that's Czechoslovakia and East Prussia, which is still Russia today. This little corner here in Europe, that's still Russia today. All right, let's talk about the most depressing topic of the night, the Spanish Civil War. Oh boy, let's get into it. The start of the war in July 1936. Let's shine Spain, though. Let's make it all shiny. Let's make it all shiny. Oh, Spain is not shining for us. But you know what? That's fine. Can we make Franco's face all shiny? Yeah. Franco, get shiny. Oh, block out his face. His eyes are glowing. It looks like he has one laser eye and he's gonna like... I'm gonna shut up. The start of the war. My goodness, I've moved this book so much. Wait, there, okay. The start of the war, July 1936. The Civil War began on July 17th, 1936, when nationalist forces based in Spanish Morocco launched a coup against the newly elected Republican government. Franco assumed command of the Red. Where did I see that? I don't know. Franco assumed command of the Army of Africa, a Moroccan-based group of professional soldiers, on July 19th. From July 27th, Franco's army was flown from Morocco to Spain by German and Italian forces, and fighting soon spread through southwest Spain. So nationalist forces are solid yellow arrows, and Republican ones are dotted yellow arrows. And major battles at this time are shown by yellow swords. So we can see here in Malaga, big battle. Big battle here in Badajoz. I guess that's how you say that. Up there, here, Toledo, there. And then we've got nationalist forces heading up from Morocco to Seville, Merida. Heading this way, and that way. Up there, having a battle here. Having a battle there. Pew, pew. All the way to the Basque country. All up into Catalonia. Going back and forth here. And then the dotted arrows are the Republicans. Going there, going there, going there. I think that's it. All right. Foreign intervention, September 1936. A total of 27 countries, including Britain, France, the USSR, Germany, and Italy, signed a non-intervention pact in September 1936. However, the ideological nature of the war gave it an international element. The nationalists were aided by soldiers and equipment supplied by fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. The Republicans were supported by the communist governments of Russia and Mexico, as well as by volunteers from international brigades. These were groups of left-wing fighters who came from all over the world to fight in a war they saw as a struggle against extreme nationalism and tyranny. So German support is coming from these dark purple boats, Italian support's coming from these light purple boats, USSR support's coming from pink boats. So we've got dark purple going to Lisbon, dark and light purple in Cadiz, dark purple in Huelva, light purple in Cartagena. Or is that pink? Oh, that's pink. Pink boats. Pink boats, pink boats, pink boats. Not a bad trigger word. Pink boats, pink boats, pink boats. Civilian atrocities. I want to go home. 1936 to 1939. I'm calling my mom. I want to go home. During the course of the war, both sides committed atrocities against civilians. The Republicans targeted anyone believing to be right-wing, including teachers, lawyers, mayors, and landowners. Hatred of the church meant that many churches were ransacked. Meanwhile, in Guernica, Franco's forces undertook a brutal attack on civilians from the air. The extreme violence stunned the international community. So Republican violence is shown by churches, and nationalist violence is shown by explosions. It kind of shows the difference between the two, right? So we can see in Barcelona, we've got Republican violence, and in Guernica, nationalist violence. I'm sure we'll read more about it. There's one more box left. The end of the war, March to April 1939. By May 1937, internal conflict had broken out within the Republican groups in Barcelona. Losses at the battles of Teruel and Ebro further weakened the Republican army. And on January 26, 1939, Franco's army seized Barcelona. Following further nationalist victories in Catalonia and Vinaròs, the Republic was all but destroyed. The nationalists marched into Madrid on March 27, 1939, and Franco declared the war over on April 1st. So major battles at this time are black crossed guns. Can't see here. There's Madrid, Ebro, Vinaròs, Teruel. And yeah, let's read some boxes and get this over with. Oh, where's like the fun maps about like trade? I miss those. I guess at some point we'll get back to that. April 26, 1937. Oh boy. Guernica is bombed by Italian and German aircraft on Franco's orders. The war is captured by photojournalists, and images of the devastation spread abroad. March 1937, Franco switches his focus to attacking the industrial areas of northern Spain, such as the Basque region, a Republican stronghold. July 25th to November 16th, 1938, at the Battle of Ebro, the Republicans are all but wiped out as a fighting force. Summer 1936, Spanish-Portuguese border is the point of entry for many supplies. Well, that's a good box. November 1st through, or bad, depending on where those supplies are going. November 1st through 6th, 1936. Republican leader General José Valeria reaches Madrid November 1st. He's followed by the German Luftwaffe 5 days later, and the siege of Madrid begins. I wish you could see me right now. I'm just like, I have my hand against my face. I'm just like, I'm gonna leave my hand here. This is, and we're going to World War II next, so it's about to get even worse. Let's continue. August 14th, 1936. German planes bring Franco's troops into southern Spain. They advance to Badajoz. I'm continuing. Badajoz, where thousands of civilians had a bad time. Moving on. I don't want to read sad things anymore. On August 6, 1936, Franco arrived in Seville, not on vacation or nothing, to have a bad time for the people there. December 1936, fascist Italy sent supplies to nationalist rebels, which reached Spain through Cadiz. Oh, there's one over here. On August 22nd, 1936, Portugal allows German ships to dock at Lisbon, and from there dispatch war supplies into nationalist territory. See, that's why non-alignment sometimes just does not work. Just, oh, we support both sides, we're not involved, we're just going to let them figure it out. That never works, dude. Like, no. Take a side for what's right. In any conflict, dude. Like, no, just sitting back and hoping that everything will work out. It does not. It never works. Because someone is going to be like, well, if everyone else isn't going to help, I'm going to help. And then that side will win because the other side doesn't have any help. And yeah, maybe if the US, the UK, and France, and everyone else did get involved, it probably would have lasted much longer and been much bloodier. But then Franco would never have assumed power. Like, never be impartial. Take a freaking side. Don't just be like, well, not my war. No, stand up for what's right. Fascism's bad, guys. I can't. Don't support fascism. That's my motto. Don't do that. It's October 1936, April 1939. Huelva and Cadiz are the main ports for German supplies to nationalists. See, I'm saying, don't sit back. Don't. Because then, what if Porto was the place for the British to sail in and give supplies to the Republicans and help them defeat Franco? Like, what if that turned the tide of the war, you know? July 18th, 1936. By the evening, I just had a hiccup. I'm sorry if everything just shook. By the evening, the Nationalist Army controls all of Spanish Morocco and then invades Spain. Fighting soon spreads to Cadiz, Seville, and Malaga. We're almost done. October 1936 to April 1939. The USSR sent support to the Republicans. I guess that's another good thing the USSR did. Wow, pat yourself on the back, Stalin. Alright, they sent support to the Republicans, including tanks and weapons to the port of Cartagena. I can't believe I said that. Continuing, February 22nd, 1938, nationalists retake the town of Teruel, a bitter blow for the Republicans. And May 6, 1937, infighting among Republicans leads to prominent anarchists being taken out. Rioting breaks out. March 1937, Franco switches his forces to attack. Oh, we read that already about the past. Thank goodness. What is all these blobs? Where's the chart? There it is. Nationalist land is red. Boom, boom, boom. And Majorca, Ibiza. Not Minorca. Minorca is Republican. Nationalist gains is the pink. Nationalist gains. Oh, that's okay. Nationalist land 1936 is the red. 1937 is the pink. Nationalist 1938 is orange. And 1939 is the peach. Republicans is blue, so they're here, here, and here. Temporary independence border here in Catalonia and the Basque Country. Pardon me. I'm done. This was depressing. Can we, look at a fun map? You know what was fun? You know what I miss? You know what I miss? Farming. Let's talk about Mesopotamia again. Let's talk about Aboriginal art. Let's talk about migrating out of Africa. Let's talk about Turkana boy. Sahelanthropus. Homo ergaster hand axe. Old footprint. That's cool. Can we talk about hominids? Please. I don't want to talk. Man, I was really looking forward to the World War II video because I know it's going to pop off and I know everyone's just waiting for World War II maps. I'm not excited anymore. This sucks. Man, warfare after World War I is just not the same and it's upsetting and depressing. I don't like it. That was my tummy. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bed because I'm all riled up now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go eat some pizza because we got some New York style pizza for dinner tonight and we have 2 slices left. New York pizza is like the size of this page. The slices are ridiculous. You have to fold them in half to eat them. I'm going to go eat those and I'm going to watch some happy videos about Lucy and Turkana Boy. I hope you do too. Take care of yourselves. If you don't want to eat no pizza, that's all good. You know what we like? We like Topple. We like Topple the elephant. We like Bob the pencil. Did you know the pencil's name is Bob? My niece helped me. Well, I helped my niece run a poll on my community tab saying name the pencil, and she picked the name Bob. So this pencil's name is Bob. We like Bob the pencil. We like, what else do we like? We like sleep phones. Stay tuned for the sleep phones presentation if you haven't seen it already. You guys should get you some sleep phones. I'm going to use this tonight. I'm going to watch some cool videos about space. I'm going to watch French Whisperer. I'm going to calm down. Oh, I'm so fired up right now. Oh, let's calm down together, okay? Let's take that energy and just like expel it. Just get out. Go. Get out. I'm like all riled. What else is nice? What do I have? I think it's all the things. I like this marker. I like Expo markers. They write really cleanly, and I like fine-tipped ones because you can write really tiny. I like those. I like my tablet. Let's look at my tablet. Do you know what there is? There's pictures of capybaras on my tablet. I've got Blue Sky. I've got Skippo. You guys should play Skippo. Not sponsored. I play. You want to see this? This will make you happy. Listen, I bought Microsoft Solitaire during the pandemic. You have to play it this way. It's easier. See that big ring light? So annoying. Okay, listen. Here's my daily challenges, right? I haven't played today. I forgot to play yesterday. I was busy. So, here's what I did during the pandemic. Ignore that. I did every daily challenge in 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, and I'm almost done with 2018. I've done this many in 2018. I gotta get 2017, 16, and 15, and then I finished Microsoft Solitaire. I guess you could see my gamer tag there. My gamer tag, listen, my gamer tag, when you sign up for Xbox, they're like, here's a default name so you can make your own. The default name they gave me is Berserk Goose. And I was like, perfect, no notes. That's the perfect name. Why would I pick any other name? How about we play a game of solitaire? We're gonna do this to calm down. Let's see, what's the easiest challenge? Well, I hate Spider on easy. Let's just play regular solitaire to close this out. Just relax, okay? Let's play. I'm gonna get my pen out. This has gone off the rails. I have never yelled at a girl like this. I've never been so unhinged. Let's play solitaire, you guys. Let's see. Do you guys know how to play solitaire? Oh, I do. I play a lot of solitaire. Not sponsored either. Microsoft does not sponsor me, although I did get a spam email, and they followed up saying they were Microsoft and they wanted to sponsor me for some software, which I'm sure is just a horrible virus. Yeah, no thank you. I'm not replying to that email saying they're from Microsoft and they're in some junk throwaway email. And you know what else? You know how when you send something from an iPhone, it says sent from my iPhone? But if you're like a baby reindeer, you just write it. If you're baby reindeering someone, at the bottom it said unsubscribe from this email, but it was just written in text. It wasn't a hyperlink. So I'm like, oops, I should do this. Try harder, like do better. I believe in you. You can do so much better than that. Try to fool me and tell me you're from Microsoft. I'm not relaxing. Let's tap some cards, okay? Let's just tap some cards. I hope I'm not making some like huge error in this game and you're all yelling at me like, why did she not play that card? Why would she do that? Okay, I'm feeling what in the world? What am I missing? What am I missing? We can do this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry or you're welcome. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. I really need to relax. I hope you can even see this. I hope the glare's not so bad that you just see like a shiny screen. Like Franco's eyes shining laser beams out at you. That's a canon event now. Okay. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much. If you're still here, you're the real one. Look, I'm a gold grandmaster 8, level 436, okay? Don't come for me with my solitaire. I will destroy you in solitaire. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much for watching. I promise I'm not this insane. I'm really not. But maybe this is fun, and maybe we need to crash out after the World War II maps. I guess let's take a look at the World War II maps. I guess. Let's see what we... Oh, no. No. I don't want to talk. No. I don't want to talk about Hiroshima. Ugh. As much as I nerded out at the Hanfield site in Washington where they made the plutonium in Fat Man, which you can literally see right here, I went to the nuclear plant where they made the plutonium in this bomb that destroyed Nagasaki. I like nuclear history. I don't like this. I like nuclear history. I don't. I need to go play more solitaire. Good night, you guys. Good night. Like, go away. Good night, you guys. I hope this was relaxing. It was not relaxing for me. I am so tense. I'm about to get out like a massage, like a back massager. I have a little neck massager. I'm about to run it up and down my back, my shoulders, and just relax. I'm gonna get my sleep phones and watch freaking French Whisper talk about space. That's what I'm gonna do. Stay tuned for the much more relaxing Sleep Phones presentation. And I hope that you too have a good night. 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 This is my pair of sleep phones. Pajamas for your ears. And it's essentially a headband with little speakers in it. So you can pop it on your head and comfortably lay down on your pillow and listen to binaural ASMR as you fall asleep. It's all dusty, but that's good because this is machine washable. You can just pop out the little headphones there and wash this. I guess I have to do that next. Cat hairs all over it. I use this pretty much every night. It's perfect for traveling. And actually, here's a story for you. This is not my original pair of sleep phones. I went and visited one of my best friends, brought my sleep phones with me, and accidentally left it behind. So my friend says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll ship it to you. It's fine." But then she tells me the next day, "Actually, I'm not, because I used it and I love it and I'm keeping it. And I just bought you a new pair. I'm sending it to your home." So this is the pair she sent me. My original ones are still with my bestie. She kept it. It's so funny. But I swear by these things. I sleep so well with them. They don't bother me either. I have chronic migraine. I have to be careful with what I put on my head, because if it's too tight or makes me too sweaty, I get a migraine. This has never done that. It's incredibly comfortable. The sound quality is awesome. And I just pass out and sleep so well when I'm wearing these. I can't recommend it enough. So if you would like to get your pair, I have an affiliate link down in the description box. It would very much help out my channel. Don't forget to uninstall Honey before you purchase. And you can get your own pair of sleep phones, pajamas for your ears, and sleep comfortably and sound. They have all sorts of different styles. They have a wireless version. I just have the wire one, just because that was just what I had before she bought me the same pair. But they have all sorts of different kinds for all sorts of different types of people. So be sure to check them out and sleep well.